It's so interesting to see how culture affects productivity. I usually tell you business owners in our conversations that if nobody blossoms under your wings, you're simply not a leader. You're the tone at the top, and everybody in the organization, 99% will imitate your ways, how you behave, how you handle things, how you socialize. So, if nobody imitates what you're doing in terms of character, you've not had enough influence on the people you lead. Actually, you could be a boss, but not a leader. Let's talk about culture. How does culture impact on productivity? Are you an X or Y leader or manager? Are you authoritative or participative? Culture. Usually, people who work with me find it easy because by name I'm jovial, so most of the times I'm happy. Secondly, I let people be. As long as they do their role, as long as they follow whatsoever we put in place, let them be. So this gives me an opportunity to watch myself in other people, to see them trying to be me. It's not that they are copying me in a bad way, but they are trying to be easy, relaxed, but productive as much as they can. What does this imply? I have already impacted on their lives. So the boss you have influences the boss you're likely to become. A few people will divert from their bosses unless you had a bad one. If your boss is bad, that's when you will be like, I cannot be bad. Like my boss, I have to be a better boss. But if you have a better boss like I have one, like I am one, you'll be an example. And so many juniors will want to behave like you, will want to deal with issues like you the way you do them, the way you deal with the matters. We deal in an industry where targets are like targets, deadlines are deadlines, we work on schedules. But the ability to provide your staff with the room to breathe, with chance to be themselves, with the room to be productive, to let them think through something, put it in place, and they own it. I'm talking about culture. Have you discovered that all the written rules, all the blah blah blah, they are not usually implemented? If implemented, not in the happiest mode. Of course, we don't intend to make everybody happy. But have you discovered that if you let the juniors, if you let your subordinates propose and you implement their ideas, have you seen how they effortlessly, tirelessly work on that idea to be implemented? Have you seen how monitoring becomes easy for you when the idea was incubated by the juniors? I normally call it user department or user, the creator of the content or the creator of the idea. This is what I usually do in any situation, in anything. I already have my mind, I already have my answers, but I ask them, what do you think? In all the meetings I hold, I ask them, what do you think? Why? To give them room for creativity, to give them room to suggest an idea, and you work by that idea so that they feel motivated, appreciated, saying like, okay, my boss appreciates me, they are going by my idea. You don't know what it feels to a junior if they propose an idea and you actually approve it and you implement it. They feel part of you, they feel appreciated, they feel visible to you as their leader. And guess what? This is one thing every employee strives to do every day. Have you asked yourself why employees tend to be so busy, so serious, like being, at the top of everything in your presence? Why? Is it a visibility issue? They want to be noticed. They want to show like, hey boss, we are working. So, how are you going to impact? How are you going to use your culture, your character, your behavior to positively impact them? Are you a boss who finds 2-3 people standing and talking and everybody has to disappear as if they never existed? No. At some point, yes. But most of the times, no. I usually find them and I'm like, hey, pause right there. I'm part of the conversation. What is it? Like, how is it? Most of the times, ideas that we need from the employees are not generated in those meeting sections we make. They're usually generated in those conversations. You meet someone and give them a conversation like, oh, I'm looking for this, I think I need something that can help me meet this objective. What do you think? They will come up with ideas. I'm saying this because I've lived this kind of life, I've practiced it, and I see it in other organizations. What am I saying here is if they don't imitate you, you're likely not to be a good boss. If they don't imitate you, if nobody tries to move in your footpath or footprint, there is nothing they admire about you. You're only a boss, not a leader. So I'm trying to emphasize this. I'm trying to make it, let the workplace be calm, warm. We are not friends, I know we are just colleagues, but I should not bear any pressure on my shoulders when I see my fellow colleague or my boss. It should feel okay. And guess what? Turn at the top. If the CEO, the director, puts that kind of culture where it is okay, it is relaxed but productive, it's going to move to the managers, it will move to the associates, it will move to the clients. Culture. So we see organizations just by the doorsteps, at the door like this, these guys have stress. Like before you even ask for any information, you'll be like, yeah, this is a stressed organization. So let's try to make it feel better. Remember, these guys spend a lot of time at work than at home. So a workplace should be living, it should be breathing at some point. Being busy and serious does not mean you're going to be it doesn't mean that way. It means you're working happily, you're doing your job. You don't need to exert extra pressure to the employee to make them feel your presence or to make them understand your order. You just have to communicate your targets, let them know what they are supposed to do, and let them know the time they have to do that, the time bound. Like from this, for example, I normally give weekly goals. By Friday, I must have received all the projects, I must have reviewed them, I must have given you my feedback. You must be knowing what you're going to deal with in the next week or in the next 2 weeks. So that gives them a better milestone. That gives them clarity of what is expected of them and when are they supposed to deliver. Then, waking up one day, you give orders, you ask for things that are not ready or things that you know they will require time and you want them now. So you're just exerting unnecessary pressure. Does that mean we cannot work on pressure or we cannot work on deadlines? We do work under pressure, but not always. It should be a random one time. It should not become our normal routine. I mean, working under pressure should not become our normal routine. Otherwise, they will all be hospitalized. You'll have all sick employees. Then you ask yourself, why do people leave? Can I answer you? Culture. The culture you're putting in place, that kind of extra unnecessary pressure you're trying to put up. Maybe you are trying to command respect, or you're trying to just make people tired of you, I don't know. But that kind of unnecessary pressure makes people leave. Because someone looks at their mental health and looks at what you're paying them and looks at the environment and they make a decision. It's hard to retain talent. And guess what? Talents stay in better environments. However much you pay them, as long as the environment is not healthy, they are out. So, culture. Let's influence them. Let's see them. I like it when I see people trying to be me, to be the job I am. I'm like, okay. Some words they use, be like, okay, I normally use that word. So, they're trying to pick pieces of you into their lives. Culture, influence.